I'm all about drama and conspiracy and checking stuff out. I was about to say the S word, but I noticed it was like the first 8 seconds of the video. I can't do that. Today we're checking out the real story behind Triple H's affair with Stephanie McMahon from WrestleMania. If you guys would like to support the original upload of the content, click the top link in the description. If you want to hang out and watch content with me live on Twitch with the flock here, my amazing, beautiful birds, click the bottom link. We also got a free Patreon with content that I can't upload to YouTube because it's too spicy. It's free. Check it out. Either way, let's get right into it.
Wrestling has had its share of scandals, mysteries, and even crimes, whether it's behind-the-scenes activities between wrestlers or puzzling situations in the industry itself. And one of them is the incredible story of the love triangle involving Triple H, Chyna, and Stephanie McMahon. It was a relationship that changed the WWE entirely into what it is now today. Join us now as a final bell looks at Triple H's real-life affair with Stephanie McMahon.
I see. When did they do all this spooky shit on WrestleMania? What the fuck going on? This damn fucking A&E true story fucking fit. Bouncing yitties. Again, spooky in his.
Joanie Laurer debuted in the WWF in 1997, serving as a bodyguard for D-Generation X's Shawn Michaels and Triple H, who actually lobbied for her to get into the WWF. Chyna spent considerable time with Triple H, and eventually, sparks flew. In her book, If They Only Knew, Chyna recalls having feelings for him when they trained together. Things eventually blossomed into a romance as both superstars climbed the WWF ladder.
Guys, if you want a muscle mommy, you know what I mean? Head to the gym. Ask the nearest big bulky lady to help spot you. Might get the feelings for you. Train it together. Listen, you never know. How can you get a muscle mommy if you don't go where they at? Come on, this is problem solver right here. I'm trying to help you guys out.
By 1999, Joanie Lauler's Chyna character had gone from D-Generation X's bodyguard to an in-ring performer, not only capable of holding her own against male competitors, but beating them in the ring. That year, Chyna became the first woman to enter the Royal Rumble, competed in the King of the Ring, advancing to round 2, and became the first female to become #1 contender for the WWF Championship. While this was going on, Chyna's boyfriend saw his star on the rise as well, as he was breaking out from the upper card into the main event. The year 2000 was even better
so
for wrestling's
with hair
ninth
to me
wonder
now.
of the world, both in WWF and out of it.
Goat spotted.
Chyna's storyline romance with Eddie Guerrero showcased her range, as did her television appearances on the NBC sitcom Third Rock from the Sun, USA Network's Pacific Blue, and the film Alien Fury: Countdown to Invasion, the film being one of the lesser known. Chyna also posed in the November issue of Playboy, which sold over 1 million copies. Chyna's 2001 memoir, If They Only Knew, entered the New York Times bestseller list, another reminder of how popular she was. Life was going good for Chyna, and she seemed to find the satisfaction she'd struggled for her entire life. With Triple H by her side, they seemed to be one of wrestling's power couples. That was not to last, however, as an on-screen pairing between Triple H and Stephanie McMahon turned into a love triangle between Chyna, Helmsley, and McMahon. Stephanie would join forces with Triple H in a memorable McMahon-Helmsley era storyline that saw wrestling's on-screen power couple eventually transform into a real-life wrestling power couple. During an interview with Howard Stern, Stephanie recalled how their storyline romance morphed into.
Dude, the fucking balls it must have took Triple H to even go for that. Yo, I don't know, man. That's definitely like you playing with fire, bro. Like the boss's daughter in a promotion where the boss could definitely just void your contract and send you back to the Indies. Just wasted all your time. Oh man. Uh, yeah, this is bad Triple H. Definitely, he risked it all. He risked it all. I don't even think he did this shit with long-term planning in mind. Bro definitely just like looked out like, hey, fuck it. Nikki, stop. Do you think the Undertaker was like, yeah, go ahead? Oh my god, Chyna would maul them.
An actual one.
Well, I mean, he was in love with her at one time. They were, you know, so, but by the time I came around, things weren't so good. By the time, you know, Triple H and I started our on-screen storyline, we just sort of had great chemistry and it just went from there.
Triple H and Chyna had bought a house and began living together. However, rumor has it, around 2000, the relationship began to fizzle. After their breakup, Chyna would claim that she felt Hunter was trying to get her to break things off with her. If so, was Triple H doing so to avoid revealing he was having an affair with Stephanie McMahon? Long after their split, Chyna alleged that Triple H struck her when they were together. According to one report, he swiped.
I did not hear about this. Oh, nah. Oh, man. Did they just lost the time? Like, no one brings this up?
My hand. I swiped his, and then he hit me. He was crying and felt bad he'd done it, but it happened. However, Triple H and his friend Sean Waltman, aka X-Pac, denied this happened, with Waltman claiming Chyna had told him that she fabricated the story. Whether the Triple H and Chyna relationship was deteriorating or going through a rough patch, Stephanie's kayfabe relationship with Helmsley was heating up. One thing led to another, and Stephanie and Hunter began dating, a situation that had to be incredibly difficult to hide. There were hints that something was going on between Stephanie and Triple H, with the locker room growing suspicious. Once Vince McMahon found out, he was furious, knowing the havoc the relationship could play in the locker room, particularly with Triple H's star on the rise. Inevitably, wrestlers would claim Helmsley was getting pushed due to his relationship with the billion-dollar princess, claims Triple H has dealt with his entire career since the romance went public. McMahon ordered them to break up, but the two merely started dating on the down low.
And how this man really kept up with it too, I don't know. Brazen as hell. Oh no.
In a situation that seems to fit in with Vince McMahon's school of keeping business and personal matters
How
separate,
do you do?
Stephanie McMahon championed Chyna's character despite her relationship with Triple H. While Stephanie McMahon was sneaking behind Chyna's back with Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, who was a top figure in the WWF creative at the time, recalled,
You know, and here's the other thing that, again, people always get astounded at. On the writing team, the biggest proponent and the biggest cheerleader for Chyna in the room at all times was Stephanie. She was always on us. We've got to come up with something bigger for Chyna. We've got to do more for Chyna. I want ideas for Chyna. We've got to keep her in a top role. And this was before anybody knew anything.
While Stephanie may have supported Chyna, Chyna's attitudes towards Stephanie was about to change.
The editing in this video is hilarious. This shit feels like one of those like true crime shows, like somebody definitely got murdered. First 48, you know. That's when they found Stephanie hanging upside down in the bathroom with a coat hanger hanging off her pinky toe. We don't know how the fuck the coat hanger got there, but guess what? The yabos were out. The melons were definitely out.
The WWF superstars in the locker room weren't the only persons growing suspicious of what looked like to be.
Is that my guy, Two Fly Scorpio? I can recognize those ears anywhere. I can recognize those ears anywhere. He about to do a flip.
More than an on-air chemistry between the game and Stephanie. In a 2011 interview with Wrestling Inc., Chyna recalled, "Well, I had my doubts. Like people always say, is it real? Is it television? Is the storyline real? I was like, is there something going on? If there is, I can take it. This was my love. This was my career. I need to know because I didn't want to lose my career. He just kept saying it wasn't, but his attitude had changed. I actually did the snoop. I found a love letter from Stephanie McMahon that had been dated from the previous year, so I knew that there was a year affair going on.
Bro had a love letter dated a year ago? Nah, that was like it feels so long ago. Fucking pre getting the face scan to get into your iPhone when you were asleep. You ain't slick. I don't need your password. I'm just gonna go inside your fucking suitcase to see a love letter that you're holding on to. That just said, love Stephanie. What the fuck? Why is this here? Oh my god. You could frame somebody so easy back then.
Chyna wasted no time addressing the matter. Within 5 minutes, I called Vince McMahon and he was basically like, okay, well, the jig is up. Okay, I'll see you on Monday. And when I walked into the building, it was like the parting of the Red Sea. It was like everybody was against Paulie. Bob Holly was standing around me, Billy was standing around me. It was just crazy. Then I actually was going into the bathroom stall of the ladies' room because I couldn't stop crying and Vince was going to talk to me. He said, "Are you ready to talk, Chyna?" However, Chyna would claim that another confrontation occurred before the meeting with Vince. Then Stephanie stepped up. She took me into the room, we talked, and she goes, "Well, I love him. He's my man. I'm sorry if you feel that way." And I shut her up. I said, "Shut up. Call your dad in here because I'm going to choke you out."
Whoa, la. How fast do you think Stephanie taught to pick out Vince? Yo, Stephanie kinda gully for just to be like, "Oh, that's mine. What you gonna do about it?" Like, I respect the fuck out of that, but also that's kinda slimy, Stephanie. I like the drama. Can you tell I'm a messy bitch? I'm sorry.
If you really feel that way, take control of yourself. Then Vince came in and said, "Let's do a new contract. I know this is tough for you, but it's gonna be okay." Then I went home and I got a fax saying they didn't need me anymore. Laura left the WWF in 2001, but there are conflicting reports of why. Conventional wisdom has it that she was let go because of the tension between Chyna and the Stephanie McMahon Triple H couple. However, there is also a story that Chyna made unrealistic demands for her new contract, and the WWF let the contract lapse in November 2001. According to Laura's sister Kathy, Chyna was offered $400,000 a year by the WWF but wanted a base salary of $1 million.
I'd have took that 400K. I ain't gonna lie to you. What? 400K? 400K to get my man took, bitch? I'm about to be bumping coochies immediately. Take him. 400K, take him.
Jim Ross, who in addition to announcing matches served as Executive Vice President of Talent Relations for the WWF, worked with Chyna when it came time to work out her new contract. According to Ross, there was absolutely no pressure from Vince McMahon to make sure Chyna left the WWF. During an episode of his podcast Grillin' JR, Ross recalled,
"So even though I wanted to re-sign her, I didn't get any pressure from Vince. He said, 'What do you think you're going to do with her?' And he kind of left it up to me. And I said, 'Well, I'm going to try to retain her services. We got a lot of money and time in her. So why wouldn't we try to retain her?' So do what you want to do." He never interfered in Hunter and Stephanie's defense. I'll say it for Vince. It's all business.
Right.
I said, "But Vince, if I can't get a decent number, we may have to pass on it." He said, "Well, that's your call." So I couldn't give her $1 million.
Oh yeah, Chyna's definitely like
It seems unlikely Ross would lie about the situation, as he has no interest in supporting the WWE, nor does Chyna's sister in stating the WWE didn't keep her because her contract demand was too high. Some skeptics argue that the Helmsley-Chyna romance was doomed as soon as the game saw a meal ticket in Stephanie McMahon. That's something we will likely never know, but consider some comments from Chyna's sister Kathy Hamilton, who feels Chyna never had a chance of lasting happiness with Helmsley. They wouldn't have lasted whether Stephanie came into the picture or not. "I have no animosity toward Paul. He was very good to Joni. He cared about her deeply, but she just had too many issues." Chyna's career and personal life took a nosedive after she left the WWE, with some fans believing the events behind her breakup, coupled with her own personal demons, led to a self-destructive path that led to her overdose in 2016. Now, we know that there's no
Chyna.
easy answers, and we'll leave it to you to decide for yourself. But we encourage you that you watch our two-part Final Bell episode, The Rise and Fall of Chyna, for further information on Joanie Laura's life. But there you have it, guys. The shocking story of the Triple H Chyna Stephanie McMahon love triangle. Up next, we promise, is the final days of Test. But be sure to leave your comments on what you thought of the episode, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
I actually never ran into this series from WrestleMania before. It has to be pretty old. Has to be pretty old. 4 years old, yeah. Interesting. I think the editing was a bit excessive as far as like the vibe, but it did give like legitimate documentary vibes. Really cool. Yeah, that's really. I wonder if it was like a calculated move of Triple H to try to, you know, get with the boss's daughter and eventually take over, or if it was just this girl is kind of hot, so I kind of want this one. Like, I'm sorry, Muscle Mommy, but this girl has the yabos. She's a cutie. She just happens to be the boss's daughter. Either way, really interesting, and I do feel bad for Chyna, man. It sucks to hear that she spiraled and everything. I forgot that she passed away. They said 2016. That feels so recent. I feel so fucking recent. Test was awesome, by the way. He had a big boot like no other. I definitely remember that from the video games. Being in his situation, would you guys have done what Triple H did? Like, would you guys have gone from Chyna to Stephanie? I'm surprised he was like silly enough to have the fucking love letter still in a findable place. Like, what? We know what's going on. We did. We know what we doing. What are we doing here? Why we gotta keep this? I'm gonna, leave. We're gonna have a code on the beeper, right? Because it's had to be around the beeper time, yo. When you text me that 69, when you beat that 69 at me, guess what? I'm coming. Either way, if you guys haven't still got the original upload of the content, go ahead, click the top link in the description. Don't be a weenie. Show some love and support. Want to hang out with me in the flock over on Twitch? Guess what? Bottom link. I've got a free page now with a whole bunch of content that I cannot upload to YouTube. So if you want bonus Cratewraith content where I say whatever the fuck is on my mind during the reactions, guess what? It's there. And you don't gotta worry about pesky copyrights. I'll see you in the next video unless you're a weenie. Thank you so much to those of you that have made it over to the Patreon. I appreciate you.
I'm still hungry.